Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new video and another episode of my F1 2019 career mode here today. But first of all, before we jump into things, yesterday I done a Q&A announcement video for hitting 30,000 subscribers. If you guys want to leave a comment or a question on that video, then by all means do so by clicking the link on the top right hand corner of your screen and go watch the video, guys. Please watch the video and take into account that what I said in the video was, I want you guys to read the comments first so you don't ask the questions that have already been asked, and just thumbs up the most popular suggestions. And yeah, please go over there, guys, leave a comment, or thumbs up a comment that you might like. And I'm going to make a Q&A to celebrate 30,000 subscribers, guys. So thank you very much for that one. But we're now going to move into, or get into business more like this weekend as we arrive here for the British Grand Prix in my F1 2019 career mode. And you saw a moment ago on screen, we have a chance of rain in qualifying and the race towards the end of both sessions. So that can make things very, very tasty. In terms of R&D, we've got no upgrades this weekend. And the midfield looking very, very close there between McLaren, Renault, Racing Point and Haas. And then we've got Alfa Romeo as well. And then we've got ourselves and Toro Rosso a little bit further behind. But no upgrades for us this weekend here at Silverstone, and I'm saving up for a big upgrade package because we should get, I believe, a 600 point bonus this weekend because we hit the team goal of hitting 14th place last weekend. So yeah, I think we should get a nice R&D bonus off this episode, and hopefully with the points we put away from practice, qualifying and the race, we should have overall a nice amount of points to really work with at the end of the episode. But in terms of practice, you can see on screen we had a pretty good session and the car was fantastic. I've got to say, it's probably the best the car has felt all season long. Genuinely, I really, really mean that. The car was absolutely incredible and the performance was really, really there. In terms of the engine and the power unit before qualifying, we're going to put in the components, the new components for the MGU I believe, and also the energy store and also the control electronics, because you only get 2 of those all season long. And ideally I would have liked to have put them on after this race, but I just can't make it last. They're too worn out. I'm losing too much performance, and the other parts are wearing out more and faster as a consequence of those parts being still in the car. So we had to draft in the new components for qualifying, and for the rest of the weekend, hopefully going forward, we're going to have to work on some durability and some reliability upgrades going forward. But for now, the plan is simple. We're very, very close to catching the midfield cars in terms of the R&D graph. So I want to try and close that gap, and then once we catch them up, then I'm going to start doing some durability upgrades and some slightly more boring upgrades overall. But we are here for qualifying in Silverstone, guys, on Saturday. And for this weekend, I'm running 110% AI once again, like the last race in Austria. And we're going to see how we get on then for my home race, and let's see if the performance is there. After practice, I felt pretty damn confident that there is performance there to be found, and the car felt really good. I had a really good balance, and overall, no complaints. It was probably on paper, besides Monaco, the best the car's felt all season. Monaco's an exception because you can load up lots of air onto the car around there. But in terms of these kind of open, fast-flowing tracks, this is the best the car's felt all season long, without a doubt. So I'm looking forward to it, and it's a good race. It's a perfect race for me to have this good feeling because it's my home race, and the team's home race as well. And I want to try and do well and put on a show for the fans and, try and make something special happen. But here we go then in Q1. We're going to hit the track, and we've got about 13 minutes to go. And there was a chance of rain, so I wanted to get out early just to make sure I got a lap in. And currently you can see we are P19. I believe Sebastian Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo yet to set a lap time as well. But we're going to see if we can try and get ourselves out of the bottom 5 with this one and the only lap in Q1, because the rain would arrive later on and ruin our session. So here we go. Straight away, 1 and 2 flat out, braking at the 50 metre board for turn 3, trying to pick up that rotation, making sure you tap the inside curb and then bring the car to the right hand side for turn 4 and get the nose tucked in once again, using first gear there. And then on the power, try to avoid the curb on the right. I actually got onto it unfortunately, so I couldn't quite get the power down as much as I would have liked, but still a good first sector nonetheless. I reckon there was about a 1/10 of a second left in my pocket on an ideal run through there. As we now go into sector 2, through Brooklands and now into Luffield, bringing the car to the right hand side, trying to keep it nice and tight, open up the line for the exit, and then use the curb on the left to really straight line and maximise your exit and also the traction out of that right hander onto the old pit complex. As we now look for the turning point for Stowe Corner, the 50 metre board, Copse Corner, the 50 metre board, the old turn 1 here, and a little bit of a lift, not quite a flat through there, as we now go into Maggots and Beckett's. Flat out for the first 2 as the rain starts to fall here, and now into the next left-hander, just carrying the speed and now tucking it into the next right, slightly off camber, try to use the curb on the left to really maximise your exit, and then open up the ERS, using some overtake ERS mode here on the straight to really max out the top end speed as the rain starts to fall here at Silverstone. Turning in for Stowe this time at the 50 metre board and focusing on your exit out of here to really maximise the exit speed as we now brake at the 100 metre board for the final chicane here, and I actually get a little bit hot on the brakes. Luckily enough, I just managed to slow it down in second gear and it didn't affect us too bad as we now got the power up to the line. Is the lap going to be enough to get us out Q1? It is for now as we go to P15, so we have got the pace and we do manage to get out of the bottom 5 briefly, but will it last? As you can see on screen right now, Sebastian Vettel's P16, he's done a lap on mediums and he couldn't even beat me, so he may have used his one attempt. Meanwhile, Daniel Ricciardo in the Renault here, you can see on the screen right now, he's currently 20th on position. Is he going to jump out of the top 5? Yes, he does. And he gets into P14, so he just knocks us out. And unfortunately for us, that's going to be the death blow, because the track was getting worse. There was no chance of us going back out again and improving our lap time. And Daniel Ricciardo sets the death blow, or he gives us a death blow, and he knocks us out of Q1 as he goes through in P14, and we get eliminated in P16 in Q1. But overall, not too shabby. A very good session. Very happy with the car. The balance was good, and we beat both of the Toro Rossos as well, which is really, really good. So overall, a good qualifying session, and I've got no complaints. And the car feels fantastic, so I feel confident for the race tomorrow, because I'm normally better at race pace than qualifying pace, so it could be a good one for us. With that being said, though, guys, that is it for qualifying here at Silverstone, and we're now going to move into the race where there's mixed conditions once again forecast with a chance of rain, so that can make things pretty damn interesting. But now we're going to move into the race for round 10 for the British Grand Prix and my home race. The pressure's on. Let's do this.
We're right back where it all began. The very first World Championship Grand Prix was held here at Silverstone in 1950, with Giuseppe Farina taking the top step of an all-Alfa Romeo podium. He earned 9 championship points that day on his way to the inaugural title. His winning total at the season's end, just 30 points. My, how times have changed. So let's see who can reach the top step of the modern podium today. The 3.6 miles of the Silverstone circuit in Great Britain is hallowed ground to the Formula One faithful. We have 18 corners that wrap around this former World War II airbase, and some good passing opportunities at the end of the DRS zones. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Now, I want to ask you about Lando Norris. Looks like they've got a tough race in store today, as grid penalties from changing power unit components has forced them further down the field.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Sergio Perez, and Gasly, Magnussen, Raikkonen, Grosjean, and Carlos Sainz, Hülkenberg, Giovinazzi, Daniel Ricciardo, and Stroll, Martinez, Vettel, Alexander Albon, and Lando Norris. Kvyat and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
It's race time, it's the British Grand Prix, and we actually start from P15 on the grid. We've been given one more position up the grid. I think someone behind got a penalty, so we've been pushed up from P16 to P15. But overall, the target for me is simple, and I think it is achievable and realistic. I want to try and score points. I think that is doable, and I think the strategy could play a key part in that. Now, normally in this race, I would run a medium to start the race with, and then go into the soft tyre. And if you look at the weather conditions on screen, that's what I would do. But after qualifying, it's thrown me out a little bit. I'm not really sure what to do, because the rain in qualifying arrived so much earlier than, forecast. And the weather conditions are exactly the same again in the race. And we know how the weather can change here in England. The British weather is very, very quick to change. So I'm actually going to take a gamble here and start on the soft tyre for a change, and then go into the medium. I'm going to say this goes. It could work out. It could backfire. I'm going to try and be aggressive, though. Very, very aggressive. I'm going to run one extra lap of fuel, and I'm going to go with the soft tyres at the start, which I never do. And I'm going to try and be aggressive on the opening lap. Try and make as many positions up as possible, and then try and hold position basically for the entirety of the stint. That's going to be the plan. So, yeah, it's going to be an exciting race, a tough race. The possibility of rain, or should I say the probability of rain, is going to be a key factor here. And I'm going to make one adjustment, or I've made one adjustment to the car setup, and that is actually to reduce the front wing a little bit. I'll put it back up when the rain arrives, if it arrives. But for the start of the race, I'm actually going to go down a bit on the front wing, because I actually felt like I should have done this in qualifying. I think I could have got away with a little bit less wings. I'm going to try it now and gamble it for the race. Also because I want a little bit more straight line speed. I noticed in qualifying I was a little bit low on the speed trap, so I want to try and be a little bit higher for straight line speed. So we're going to knock down the front wing a bit at the cost of some understeer. Hopefully we get a little bit more straight line speed performance, and that pays off for us. But guys, that is it for the intro. We're now going to get moving. We're going to jump into things here for round number 10 for the British Grand Prix and my home race. Let's jump into it. Right, here we go then. Let's build up the revs and get ready for the 5 red lights here at Silverstone. Lights out, and away we go. Oh my god, what a start. I pulled the clutch at the perfect time, and for once, we've had a good start. I'm going to try and go on the outside here at turn 1. Is there space? There is a little bit off the track there, but we had to go for it. Down the inside of, I think that's Nico Hulkenberg. We're going to get the throttle on and cover the inside line. Up to P11. Good start from us. Aggressive, like I said I would be. Very, very good start. Very happy with that one. Onto the Wellington straight. So far so good. No pressure from behind, which is also very good. I'm going to try and keep as much ERS on target as I can, because that's going to be a key factor here in terms of our race and how we progress here today. We've got a racing point up there, and I think P5, so he could be interesting. He can maybe be a little bit of a cork in the bottle. We've got Red Bull there as well. But overall, quite a few scraps. So I've just got to try and keep my nose clean as Hulkenberg's looking for a move here. I'm going to just follow the slipstream into Copse. A little bit of understeer there, a little bit wide on the exit. That's going to put Hulkenberg right on the back of me here, going into Magus and Beckett. Hulkenberg on the left-hand side, surely not through there. Just going to try and control ourselves here. We're a little bit all over the place. This is why we saved up the ERS battery now to deploy on the straight and reassert our dominance on the straights and using the Mercedes engine. Hulkenberg hanging in there, to be fair. So overall, good decision to knock the front wing down a bit, because we're actually still struggling for straight line speed. So that was a good change. Hulkenberg all over the back of me here, as we've got the McLaren's having a bit of a scrap out. Going on to lap 2. Good start to the race, just shy of the points. Let's try and hang in there and try and push on. But overall, a successful opening lap. Very happy with that one so far. Hulkenberg's at good pace. He's definitely challenging me. Meanwhile, the McLaren's in front, going side by side. That's good. Lots of battles starting to happen already. I've just got to try and hang in there. Looks like the racing point now is starting to slow down and hold up some cars in front. So if we can get within DRS range and stay there, that'd be fantastic for our race.
Race officials have enabled DRS. DRS is now available.
Hulkenberg looking for a move there. I had to turn the engine up, just as a precaution. He was getting very close. Good thing is that we're going to have DRS and the McLaren in front of Grosjean. We've managed to hang in there and stay within a 1 second window, which is good. It's going to help us out, an absolute treat. Okay, the McLarens are not able to keep up with the cars in front because of the DRS, but we managed to hold on to Grosjean here and his DRS onto the hanger straight, which is good. I'm trying to see if I can get my DRS charged up a little bit.
We're expecting some rain soon. Expect the first drops in the next few minutes.
Oh, okay, there we go. So maybe the gamble might pay off after all. A little bit wide at Stowe corner. That's going to invite pressure from Nico Hulkenberg. But I'm pretty late on the brakes. That's going to stop him from making any kind of move. That train in front looks tempting. I want to try and get involved. Let's try and push on. Let's not lose DRS, otherwise it's going to be an absolute killer blow. So far, so good. We're still hanging in there. Grosjean has now re-overtaken Sainz. I've just noticed Hulkenberg's been overtaken by Ricciardo. So those guys are exchanging places. But we're keeping pace and we're staying within DRS, which is crucial. The longer we stay in DRS, the better. I feel like my performance will get better when the AI's tyres start to fade and also they run out of ERS on fuel, which is what they tend to do. They run very aggressive fuel and ERS modes at the start of the race. Ricciardo's getting a little bit on me there, but not enough. That racing point in front still in the wars as we pick up some really bad dirty air there. Ricciardo getting close, but not tempted to have a look just yet. Seems like he's got a little bit more pace than the Hulkenberg. We've just dropped off a little bit on this lap. Not really a bad lap from me, just the AI picking up their pace, especially the McLarens. They've caught up to the car in front, so they've got DRS. Ricciardo behind's got a tow, so he's got good pace as well. Oh, that's rain. Yeah, the rain started to fall already. Okay, so the rain starts to fall. We might have just dropped out of DRS here, which is unfortunate. I've got to try and keep with it. You can see how much the AI are losing through there, but the detection point is before Magus and Becker said we are out of DRS.
Burned off our excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down.
Here comes Ricciardo. On the outside. We're out of DRS range now, so I've got to try and do it by myself and try and find pace. Oh, there's been contact in front. Okay, that's what we needed. We're now back within range. That racing point is causing trouble as the rain starts to really fall now. This could get very tasty very quickly. Okay, this time we're within DRS quite comfortably. I've got to try and use my fuel up a little bit because the rain's going to start falling, so we don't need the excess performance, the excess fuel. So I want to just try and keep pace with these guys a bit more. More battles in front. Haas, Alfa Romeo going side by side. The Racing Point's an interesting one because we know how fast that car is on the straight, so that's why it's making things quite tasty, and everyone's bunching up. McLaren's there, side by side. Sainz trying to go down the inside even though he's nowhere near his own teammate. Could we get a move here on the McLaren? Possibly. They've dropped back a little bit. They seem to not have that good pace. I'm going to try and set up an exit onto the back straight. Grosjean doesn't have DRS, Sainz does, so we're getting the double slipstream here. There goes Sainz on his teammate. This rain's getting more and more intense by the second. If it was normal dry conditions, I would have gone down the inside there, but the conditions are not great. Got to be careful, the grip is very, very poor at the minute. The track is very sensitive. Trying to have a look around the outside there, but no way through. The McLaren's there, losing time. Unfortunately, this isn't a good corner for me. I've struggled to get traction down, so I'm not going to get the run on Sainz, but even then we're struggling.
The track conditions aren't improving. It's your choice as to whether you want to fit the wets next time you come in.
Okay, that's an interesting call. I'll take the feedback on board and we'll see. At the minute, it still feels very much dry tyre territory, but these soft tyres can't go on forever. We're getting to that point now where it's getting near the pit stops. Oh, that's a bit of an oversteer there. Got to be careful with that. Going to have to respond with some hot lap mode just to keep Ricciardo behind. The timing of this pit stop is going to be so crucial. Also, Sebastian Vettel has joined the party behind both of the Renaults. And I may have just dropped out DRS range there again. I haven't, I've still got it. The track is so delicate right now. And I'm out of fuel, so all I've got is my ERS mode to defend with. Okay, the grip is starting to really fade now. It's important, to be able to differentiate a lack of just tyre grip due to tyre wear compared to weather conditions. But now it's starting to feel like the rain now is starting to really start to kick in. This could be the lap. This could be the first lap where I'm considering it. I'm struggling to hang on now. I'm dropping out DRS range. Ricciardo's going to get the run on me here. But Ricciardo's defending from Sebastian Vettel at the same time, so it'll get interesting. Oh, this is awkward now. I'm going to need the inters to kind of be my decisive call so I can make up.
Be with us for a while. Light rain conditions for the foreseeable future.
Ricciardo's got the run again here. Got to defend the inside. There goes Ricciardo again. This is going to be risky. Not much grip on the track now. Right, we've got to try and defend the line.
Okay, remember to pit this lap.
Defensive. Down the inside. What my tyres like. 64 on the left front. I'm going to squeeze Ricciardo. I'm going to stay out for one more. And hope that the next lap is the one for the inters. I'm hoping that AI are going to pit for another set of dryers. That's what I'm banking on here. Ricciardo's got the run. Yeah, the AI coming in for another set of dryers. This could be it. Ricciardo around the outside. We're going to hold the inside. I'm probably going to pit in this lap for inters. I'm going to try and hang on as long as I can for these tyres. So forget the pace. It's all about survival now. The longer we survive on this tyre, the better chance we have to get into the intermediate. Oh, big bit oversteer there. That's going to sting. Do I pit in for inters? Can I get one more lap out of these? 69%. We're going to hold the inside. Oh, do I go for the inters? Oh, I'm going to stay out for one more. Big gamble here. Absolutely massive gamble. Got Bottas behind on fresh hards. He's going to get past me pretty swiftly, I think. All the AI coming in for another set of dries. So we're going to take the race lead.
Robert in the pits.
So there we go, into first place for now. I've got no ERS left at all, off fuel. Bottas queuing up behind me, but he's in hard tyres, and these conditions aren't the best for the hard tyres. I thought that was going to be a very short-lived battle though. If I keep Bottas behind, that'd be fantastic. But I don't think it's going to happen. Here he comes. We're going to defend the inside. I should be okay here. Will this be the decisive lap? I've got no tyres left. I'm risking a puncture now. I really am. I don't even want to look at my tyres, but we're in the 70s. Here comes Valtteri. Nice bit of rich mix just to stay in front. Oh, the right-handers I'm really struggling with now. The left side of tyres are screaming at me. Okay, nice and easy through here. Here comes Bottas. 5 seconds off the pace. Do I pit in for Inters? Is this a lap? You know what, I think I'm going to pit in. I can't go any longer. I've got to roll the dice.
Pitting this lap then, come into the pits at the end of this lap.
I have to roll the dice. Even if it means I've got to suffer for a couple of laps, it'll be worth it. Nice and slow. Let's not speed because it's a delicate pit lane. There we go, nice and easy. Right. This is risky. Well, I'm hoping it pays off. I may have to suffer a lap or two with the Inters, but I feel like the pace is right on the crossover. The fact Bottas couldn't overtake me that easily says a lot. And most of the AI are on the hard and the medium tyres, which will struggle with the conditions. So this could pay off. Here we go. Let's find out.
Complete, go now.
Good stop, 1.9. And we was, battling for P1. So if this pays off, this could be interesting. We're going to rejoin, I think, back in like P12, P13. But we're going to have a good reference to see.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
We're going to rejoin right behind the two Renaults. So we didn't really lose that much time. But we're going to have a good reference in terms of which tyre is the better tyre. During this phase, this is a good chance for me to save fuel and ERS. So now we're going to really see what the better tyre is. Definitely feels like it's right on the crossover. Dare I say the conditions are better than I actually expected. Because the dries are still the better tyre. Not by much though. We're going to get overtaken here by Norris and Stroll. 3 wide. I'm just going to back out and take the early braking method. I don't need to fight these guys. I need to just do my own race and try not to lose time on this tyre. Also not kill the tyre either. I don't want to wear it out. But we are getting there. Like I said, we'll have to suffer 1 or 2 laps, but it'll be worth it. Here goes Albon. Just let him take that one. I'm not even going to fight it again. Just going to follow him. Okay, this lap now, it just starts to feel like the Inters are coming towards me a little bit. Albon's no longer pulling away. If the AI stay out for 1 more lap, next lap could be the one that we make up some ground on them. Looks like everyone's staying out, which is good. Some cars are coming in. Okay, there we go. So some cars are coming in. Hopefully the leader stayed out for 1 more lap. That'd be great. Just a couple of cars pitting though. I want to see if there's more cars in the pit lane. I think it's just the 2, so could be another set of dryers. No, yes it is. Wow, Raikkonen's onto the hards, or he's off the hards. Grosjean onto intermediate. So there you go. So some AI cars are finally biting the bullet. Oh, big snap there. Whew. Tyres overheating. To be expected. I'm trying to drive slow. I could go faster than this and throw the car into every corner, but I'm playing the long game here. I also don't want to kill my tyre wear off. I know this will pay off eventually. I've just got to be patient and believe. More cars pit in. Presumably for the intermediate. This time there's a lot more cars in the pit lane, so we are going to gain a handful of places. My only concern now is we're going to be at a huge tyre wear.
Coming in for a stop.
A huge tyre wear disadvantage, but we're going to jump up all the way to P7. So the gap we have now is the gap we've got to protect and defend for the rest of the race. And there's still some cars in front on dry tyres, I know that for a fact, so we might get a few more places yet, but I've got to try and perform now at optimum special conditions here in these. I've got to drive up my absolute best, and I've got to do maximum tyre saving because we've got to get these tyres to the end, and they're already 20% worn on the rears. So we've got to try and find that balance between pace and tyre saving. There we go, DRS disabled. Gamble's definitely paid off.
Okay, the stewards have now disabled DRS. DRS is now disabled.
Let's have a look at the gap. So I had a 9.4 gap to Magnussen after sector 1. The thing is though, that train is massive, 8.8, so it's come down quite a bit, more than I would like. But there is a massive train behind. So hopefully they'll battle, as we've got a Renault in the pit lane, so we're going to get at least one more position here. Nico Hulkenberg pits in, and we're going to jump up to P6. If I could finish here, oh my goodness me. My tyres are still overheating from the, running on the hot track. I've got to try and cool them down, because that'll give me more performance. Because at the minute, they overheat very easily. They can't quite get back down to temperature. I need the rain to come down a little bit more as well, just to really make sure that the track temperature cools down, and I can run on the wet part of the track as the battle begins behind now. Perez, Magnussen, Vettel all doing battle. We need that battle to last as long as possible to help us out. Okay, the track's finally starting to get a little bit damp now. Spray kicking off the tyres a bit. That's what we need. A little bit more rain than this and I'll be good. But I can start using the offline to try and cool the tyres down a bit. And it's definitely working. The temperatures are dropping on the tyres, which is good. That'll give me more pace, more performance. Because I'm not normally this slow, but I'm having to watch the temperatures because that makes you go really slow and you start spinning and oversteering and understeering. So I'm just trying to be very smooth. I've got a 3-second buffer until the cars behind catch me. That's when I have to try and pick up the pace. So I'm trying to get my tyres cooled down and also manage my wear. That's the gap I have, the buffer I have until I have to start pushing flat out. And we've got 6 laps to go next time we cross the line. So it's going to be close. They are going to catch me, so I will have to do some defending. So I'm getting ready for it.
You're doing well out there, keep it up. We're looking at about 10 more minutes of rain. 10 minutes.
Okay, cheers Jeff. Just saw Perez's arrow for the first time there. I'm really trying hard now to save fuel in the RS as much as I can before they arrive. So I'm going to need it on every single straight. Track's still not quite wet enough for the Inters.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Oh, just lost something. What was that? We lost the DRS. Okay, luckily the wing stayed shut, not open. Otherwise that would really hurt. Well, I've got fuel on target. I'm happy with that. Just got to save one last time through here.
Okay, clear.
Oh, yellow flag behind. I want to check, but I can't even look. I'm so focused. Doesn't look like it's any of the cars behind me though. Okay, Perez is 1 second behind. This is it. That's all the fuel saving done. I'm going to try and save a little bit more ERS if I can, and that's it. Struggling to get the traction down there. Perez on me straight away. Didn't expect to be under pressure this soon, but it is what it is. I can't get any traction down at the minute. It begins. This is going to be a massive grind. Absolutely massive. I need the cars behind to help me out somehow. So yeah, I can go flat out through there. I can't do that. Here comes Perez. No DRS, which is going to help us out, of course. Perez around the outside. We're on the inside though, so we'll hold on to that quite easily. Dare I say there may not be no more cuts for the rest of the race. Perez again going to get the run of me. This is going to frustrate me so much, that racing point and how fast it is on the straight. Perez around the outside. Bit of contact. Magnussen goes through as well. What a move from Perez. The extra grip from the AI. Really paying dividends there. I'm struggling, I really am. Sebastian Vettel's the next car. Damn, I really...
Be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix too soon.
I really wanted to put on a better fight defensively there, but the grip difference was just unreal. I think Sebastian has a car problem because he's not that quick. He's flying on the straights though, even quicker than the racing point. But through the corners and on traction zones, he's not that good. So if I can just get good exits, I think I can keep behind, or at least try to. You're going to see the speed there of the Ferrari though. Here he comes. At full power, no DRS. He's going to go on the outside. I'm going to try and hold on the brakes. The more damp the track gets, the better for me, because the tyres will work better for me. Oh, Sebastian, what the hell? What? Don't even know what he was trying to do there, unless he locked up. I think he's lost an end plate as a consequence. That was very rash, very aggressive. Here comes Seb again. I've got to defend the inside here. I wonder if he's got wing damage. That might help me out. That might take the pressure off. 3 laps to go. Come on, let's try and score some points. That'd be fantastic. I said I could, and I felt confident that I would. That's a good exit there. Very good exit. Takes the pressure off a bit. Sebastian's nowhere near enough. His step's definitely struggling. I'm actually pulling away a little bit. That's going to buy me some time and a chance to make a breakaway and try and get these points secured with 2 laps to go. Let's try and push and give it everything we've got now. I don't have to worry about the temperatures no more. The track's damp enough. Just make no mistakes.
Some information on Vettel. They have some kind of mechanical problem.
Oh, and there you go. It gets worse. So he maybe didn't have an issue, or maybe he did, but it wasn't that bad. But now it's definitely going to get worse for him. So now more than ever, this is my chance to pull away with 1.5 laps to go. Come on.
Less than a lap of fuel now. The tank is empty.
Oh, yellow flag. Looks like a Sebastian Vettel possibly. Oh, that's Ricciardo. Ricciardo behind us. Ooh, yes.
Right, some information on Ricciardo. It looks like the problem is terminal. They're retiring the car.
Let's go. Pressure's off. Now we can cruise to the finish. Yes. Here we go then. I've turned the engine down. I'm going to try and save this power unit as much as I can. I'm going to need to. Valtteri Bottas though wins at Silverstone. Yet again, you're starting to rack up some wins now. Good old Valtteri. Meanwhile, we're going to come home in the points for 8th place. Our third points finish of the season after Monaco and France. But this one on home soil feels fantastic. Get in. What a race.
Top job, my friend, top job. I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend, but you pulled through. Thank you.
That's it for another Grand Prix and a fantastic win for Mercedes. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, they clearly have a car that comes alive in the kind of conditions we were dealing with today. It's a very balanced package in the wet, and what that means is that the drivers have confidence to attack. And having that confidence gets you on the power earlier, it lets you brake later, and can put you a long way up the road.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
Right, so here we have the final race results at the British Grand Prix. Valtteri Bottas wins it ahead of Lewis Hamilton, and also he picks up the fastest lap of the race, and he beat Lewis by 0.6 of a second over the line. Very, very close. Max Verstappen, P3. He finally picks up a podium. He's had a very horrible season so far, so he deserves that podium, and he's going to enjoy that one. Charles Leclerc only P4 in the Ferrari, Pierre Gasly P5 in the second Red Bull, and that rounds out Formula A. And then in terms of the rest of the grid, we've got Sergio Perez P6, Kevin Magnussen P7. We come home in a fantastic P8. The gamble of the one stop paid off, and we score points here in my home race at Silverstone. Kimi Raikkonen P9, Carlos Sainz rounding out the top 10, with Nico Hulkenberg missing out the points, along with Lance Stroll, Lando Norris, Sebastian Vettel, who had a horrible race with car trouble and front wing damage and hit the back of me there, which I still can't understand. And then Grosjean, Albon, Kvyat, Giovinazzi and Kubica rounding out the top 19, and the 19 runners here today with Daniel Ricciardo the only retirement, which was right on the last lap of the race. Very unfortunate one for him there. But in terms of the standings, you can see now we are still P11. We're quite a way off the nearest car. The good thing is that we extend our gap over Hulkenberg, which is good. But we've now got a nice tally of points as Charles Leclerc takes Sebastian Vettel there for P3 in the Ferrari battle. But Lewis Hamilton still 56 points clear at the top of the table. And Bottas recently emerging as his clear candidate to try and challenge him for the championship. In terms of the constructor standings, though, we still remain in 8th place. Luckily enough, we pull away from Renault, though. We were equal on points going into this race. But thanks to my 4 points, we pull away. And we establish ourselves as comfortably the 8th best team. But now we're going to move into the laptop, guys, and put some upgrades onto the car. And hopefully we get a nice little bonus after that race. But let's jump into it and let's get into the laptop.
Did you struggle to get through all that traffic today? You're surpassing all expectations. Can anything or anyone stop you? Did you feel comfortable in the wet weather today? Great. Well, that's everything.
Okay, so here we are then on the laptop, and we are very close now to catching up the midfield, if you like. I want to try and get, at least level with Toro Rosso, maybe even overtake them and get in between Toro Rosso and Alfa Romeo, so then we're part of the midfield. But until we get there, I'm going to keep pushing on with performance upgrades, because once we get into the midfield, then I can focus on doing some other stuff, to try and make sure the car's good for next season. But for now, I want to try and close that deficit. Therefore, we have 3,200 points to spend, and there's lots of ways we can spend this. Now, I do want to do some durability work, but we're going to get onto that later on. I want to focus on performance, and there's a big upgrade package we could work on right now. So straight away, the chassis is very close. We could catch Red Bull, Toro Rosso, Honda, and also Alfa Romeo Racing very soon. So we're going to do this major one here for Hungary. The reason I'm doing this one is because it's going to unlock these upgrades here, which is for tyre wear, which is something we really struggle with in this car. The tyre wear is much higher in this car than it was when I did the Ferrari career mode. So we're going to do that one to unlock the tyre upgrade going forward, and hopefully that's going to help us out. In terms of the rest of the car, we're going to do another major upgrade. This one's going to be for the drag, and as you can see here, this one's going to really help us out, and we're definitely quite poor in the aerodynamic department, so we need to improve here. And I could go for power unit, another major one here for engine power, and we could become the best engine, but I'm going to wait for that one. I can maybe put that on for Spa and Monza, so I can wait a little bit longer for that one. So for now, we're going to do some more aerodynamic work, and we're going to do, I think, one more minor one. The question is, do we go for the front or for the rear? And based off of how the car feels, and considering we're going into Germany next and then Hungary, I'm going to put some front downforce on first, and then we'll put the rear on. So we're going to save those 561 points, unless we can afford a durability upgrade, which we might just be able to actually, which is good. So actually we're going to sneak in a durability upgrade. So first of all, let's go over to the engine chart and let's see what wears out the most, because that will give me an indication as to where we could upgrade. So the ICE definitely needs work. That's the most worn component, so it will probably be that one. The rest of them look 26th, 28. Okay, yeah, we're going to do the RCE because that needs work. That's wearing out the most. So internal combustion engine, we're going to get that on the car as well. And there we go. That we've burnt up all of our points with that one. And if all these upgrades arrive, we should hopefully overtake Toro Rosso Honda in the next 2 races. So fingers crossed that pays off. And finally, we're making some progress and making some big strides to become a midfield team once again. But guys, that is going to be it for this episode of Career Mode. If you did enjoy it, drop a like on the video, and also get subscribed if you are new for daily Formula 1 content, and also turn notifications so not miss any videos from me. And finally, check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next one very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.